क्या मांगे मेरे जीवन में अब कर दो, मेरे जीवन में अब कर दो तुम कृपा की बरसात। सावरिया के आगे खड़ा होकर जो हर गाड़ी चला दे हर प्यारों जो सावरिया के आगे खड़ा होकर जो हर गाड़ी चला दे हर प्यारों जो हर प्यारों जो हर प्यारों जो श्याम प्रभु से धन और दौलत क्या मांगे, श्याम प्रभु से मांगे तो फिर काम और इज्जत क्या मांगे मेरे जीवन में अब कर दो, मेरे जीवन में अब कर दो तुम कृपा की बरसात। सावरिया के आगे खड़ा होकर जो हर गाड़ी चला दे हर प्यारों जो सावरिया के आगे खड़ा होकर जो हर गाड़ी चला दे हर प्यारों जो हर प्यारों।
Good evening, all of you. Okay, so here, your time, my time is precious. Your preparation is going super duper well, right? Day after tomorrow, you will be starting preparation for your first exam, that is accounts, right? And here we are together to solve the MTP 1 and 2 of January 25, right? Regular batch is also going on for DT and costing from May 25 onwards attempt. So really, apologies ki I could not solve it earlier. Actually, definitely, as we have solved DT, IDT, this should also have been solved little more earlier so that you can study. Now, the mindset is, as we are solving MTP, many of the students are, ma'am, it's scaring. MTP, if you check the case scenarios, ma'am, what they have given, almost some part of AS19 or some part of marginal costing, which is in final, the choice of decision making or something like that. Okay, 10% or one case scenario is one which is you have never seen like that, then we will solve it exactly as how student will read in the exam, and the same way we will read and interpretation will go on in your mind, and exactly in the same way how you will solve it in the exam, that way we will do. So if we start and we feel that case scenario 1 though it is mandatory, it's MCQ, but it will take time, and always for case scenario you can have rough work in your answer sheet. You just have to write the main answer, right? But rough work for all the calculations, not detailed steps and all, but rough work for your calculation you can have for MCQs. And while you read, okay, so if the MCQ say or 1 to 5 is for case scenario 1 and you feel it's difficult, can we start with what we know best? Because if you overall check MTP 1 and 2, any past exam paper, September 24, any paper, you will feel that there is something which is tricky, but there is something which is very easy. Be it budgeting or Halsey Rowan, exactly study material, same problem. Or what did I see? Overhead, under over recovery, reconciliation. So there are few things which comes always in the exam exactly in the same way. So start with what you know best. And 100% principle applicable for costing is put everything in the answer sheet. If you look at the structure of the question paper, this is a printout of the MTP, this, you will not follow anything. But moment you put it, okay, X and Y are the main product, P and Q are the byproduct, you put the data in the answer sheet and the pen will flow. So right now, coming 5-10 minutes, I'm just discussing very quickly the paper pattern so that you utilize your 15 minutes of reading time thoroughly. We also have the Sathi Costing Compiler, which is a multicolored one-shot book. All green cover is covering all theory questions which are there in these MTPs and all. Red color is all the concepts, booster notes and formulas to revise repeatedly and one day before exam. And in blue color, quality good questions for CA CMA Inter exams are all given. Okay, so definitely if you're writing any attempt May 25 onwards, June 25, CA CMA should definitely opt for that one shot book. Okay, now acha, one more thing before I start is all the other links, one shot revision videos chapter wise are there. I think more than 800 students have appreciated and seen the labor video immediately one day after it is put up. So, like this chapter wise one shot revision, where in the gist way I'll revise the chapter, making you alert of the pitfalls, is already there. So, use that link. Then I have taken separate top 50 questions, then also the all theory questions. 1-2 hours video I have made to revise all the concepts and formulas before exam. So all these links in systematic way are available in Telegram in our WhatsApp challenges group. So do join and take the benefit of that. And if you want to check up with this, ma'am, 1 or 2 earlier attempt RTPs, then since May 2020, all the RTPs are solved and it's available in a separate playlist. You can check one by one. Okay. Now coming 10 minutes, mindset of how will you make a choice. I request you not to see the case scenario in the 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, see the paper overall, know the paper pattern. Like question number 1, you have to attempt compulsory, but it's not compulsory to attempt first. So out of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you have to do any 4. So which one you know best? Suppose question number 3B is reconciliation, which you thoroughly know it. Do that first. Question number 3 is stores, ledger and control accounts. Do that. Right? So that will give you a boost, a pump, and your 3 hours will be awesome. So here I have already kept ready for all of you. Oops, screen sharing is paused, it is saying. 1 minute. Why is it going to pause? Oh, no, I didn't change anything in the setting. 1 minute, 1 minute. Screen sharing is not available, dear students. 1 second. Yesterday we solved both the MTPs and it was very fine. One second, what's the trouble? Let me check. Technology. Today morning I took class for capital gain. Yesterday I took class for DTI, DTMTP. That time so it was proper. Just 2 minutes. I am looking into this. What happened to the screen sharing? I don't know. Because without screen sharing, I won't be able to. Sure, I'll clear all your doubts. I'm feeling so helpless in the technology, not able to share the screen. I've kept the paper pattern also ready so that we don't have to make efforts. Sure, I'll clear all your doubts. Just wait for 2 minutes. So, don't know what happened. It's appearing, but it is appearing black. Yes, finally we have it. Maybe some net trouble or something. Okay, I'll surely clear your doubts and I'm going to solve MTP 1 and 2 in a very nice way. But first, the choice of the questions, what you are going to make. Okay, right. For that, yeah, let us take up this. Okay, you have 30 MCQs and 70 marks descriptive paper. Now, in the 30 MCQs, you have two case studies. Case study 1, in which case study is nothing but a question and answer. The bits which are solved is what is asked to you. Okay, so 5 into 2, 10 marks. Case study 2 is also 5 into 2, 10 marks. After this, individual MCQs are there: 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So in total 15 MCQs, 2 marks each, that's 30 marks. In descriptive, question number 1 is usually compulsory for 14 marks. 10 and 4 marks may be cost sheet or labor. Mandatory Halsey and Rowan comes. So make yourself very clear that in Halsey and Rowan, basic wages is same. In Halsey, 50% of the time saved you will take. In Rowan, whatever is the time saved into the actual time by standard time, that's what you will pay. Okay, right. So this is your question number 1. Now question number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of these 5, you have to do any 4. Yeah, so 14 marks, 4 questions of 56, 14 marks compulsory question. That makes it as 70 marks, right? And in 14 marks question, you have 6 plus 6 plus 2 marks, small question, or 10 plus 4, or 7 and 7. Like that, different combinations you have. Okay, right. Now let us quickly take up how you should study. Most important topic from which surely question comes is cost sheet, budgeting. Making a budget is very easy, scoring and in a linked way. Production to purchase, purchase to purchase in value, labor, cash flow, easily you can make, right? Okay. Working note should form part of your answer. So there only after say you are preparing process 1, cost per good unit after process 1 only you do. Then you go to the process 2 and so on. Okay, right. One suggestion is sometimes process costing and ABC costing both are asked together. They are little lengthy. Yeah, generally not according to the new paper pattern. But kabhi agar पूछ लिए तो make sure you don't choose such questions. Huh. One thing very important is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have to do any 4, and in this sixth question is theory. So if you're not good at theory, then you don't have a choice. You have to do all the 4 remaining questions. But if you are good at theory, then definitely you can write from chapter 1, you will get the question cost installation system and distinguish between cost reduction, cost control. Yeah. And some more theory from the material or labor chapter, idle time, overtime, slow moving item, and like that. Okay. Hope that is helpful to you. I have last time also taken, so that's what I have written over there. Reminder that whenever you do operating costing, cost sheet, marginal costing, so many places, if they give 20% margin is on cost, take cost as 100, 20 as profit, and 120. If they give 20% margin on sales, take sales as 100, profit as 20, and cost as 80. So whatever is the percentage, take it as 100. If it is on sales, take it as 100. If it is on cost, take it as 100. Cost. If it is on sales, sales को 100 ले लो, profit 20 and 80, right? And so many chapters, operating costing, service costing, overhead chapter. Pumping hard sometimes is semi-variable overhead. In semi-variable overhead, fixed overhead is also there, variable is also there. How do you get variable overhead? Change in cost by change in cost. Whenever the units of production and sales changes, the cost is changing only because of the variable element. So change in cost by change in units. This is the variable cost per unit, and if you know the total cost, you can get the fixed overhead, right? This is the number. If you have any doubt, 92900 65156. Save the number as concept classes WhatsApp number. Please don't keep calling. The team is not available all the time. But definitely, if you have a query, click the picture and send. I myself am going to solve it with a voice note. Okay? Right. So that's all for the paper pattern. Is your mindset clear? Sometimes the case scenario is very easy. Like if you check up MTP2, in that joint product byproduct, such an easy question is asked as if you are segregating the joint cost on the basis of different methods. Split off pe kitna hai, NRV. So it is so easy. So solve that first. But if it is tricky, keep it pending, solve it little later. You will do it faster. Okay? Right. Chalo. Let us start solving the MTPs now. We will take up MTP2 first. Yeah. You have a doubt in MTP1, you want me to solve that? Correct. I'll come to every aspect. MTP2, I'm solving first, right? Part 1 is all the MCQ you have to do. And part 2 is the descriptive. Okay, right. So let us take up this part 1. Case scenario we will do little later. Second case scenario is joint product byproduct as it's like super easy. ठीक है चलो इससे ही शुरू करते हैं कि scenario 1 like exam if we feel it's थोड़ा time consuming we'll do it later. E-salt is biggest producer of sodium hydrogenate. The main product of the company is this and it is highly alkaline. However, basic material required for production is salt along with electricity. Manufacturing involves one more item which is produced, halogen, as a co-product. Main product is this, but one co-product is also not byproduct, co-product. Modern uses of halogen is widespread and all. During the previous year, company purchased the material at 5,34,000. For the current year, company decided to increase the production by 2 times. So last year the material was 5,32,000. This time they have decided to increase the production by 2 times. So the material cost will also increase by 2 times. Due to this, the conversion cost. What is the conversion cost? When you add in material, labor and overhead is the conversion cost. When you add in material, labor and overhead, that becomes a finished goods. So conversion cost is nothing but labor and overhead, which is hiked 2-3 times. This is by 2 times. 534 by 2 times or add karo. This is conversion cost is high 2-3 times. Matlab direct multiply by 3. So then you will get the last year's conversion cost. Okay. So with this much information, quickly we can pick up our notebooks and it's already solved. So we are going to save our time and let us compute the joint cost. See, this was 5,34,000. Okay. I'm in this case scenario 2. 2 times it's going to increase. Increase by. This is already there. Add on more. 8,01,000 is the labor and overhead cost, which is multiplied by 3 times. It is increased 2. This is by. And this is 2. So this is increased 2. Okay. Right. So whenever in the material you add the conversion cost, you get the total cost, right? So now we know what is the joint cost. Okay, this much is clear. Material is this, labor and overhead. So total joint cost is 40,05,000. Okay, now next, what did they say after this? The production and sales information is given to you for this and this. During the current year, the management of the company pointed out exists extensive use of vinyl which can be produced. So sodium is going to be sold at this price only. Halogen can be further processed. Okay. Then it will be the price will be 250 per ton higher than that of the halogen. So if this is 250, that can be sold at 400. And incremental cost took 8,01,000 producing these many tons. So when you further process it, 16,000 halogen, obviously there will be wastage. 10,000 change you will get the further processing ke baad product, and the further processing cost is 8,01,000. When you read this much, you know that one question MCQ is surely going to be decision making. Increase sales minus increase cost is net increase. Shall you go for further processing or not? Now, for the current year amount of the base material and the conversion cost at the sum point of two product, how you are going to separate them? So how you are going to separate them is simple in the quantity ratio. In the quantity ratio. Yes. How much you are going to produce this? 40,05,000. And these two proportion is given in quantity. So 40,05,000 is the cost of these many tons. Iska kitna? Iska kitna? This is your answer A. Right? How much you are going to produce? These answers are in MCQ form, but how much you are going to produce and what's going to be the cost. So here it's going to be the cost 24 lakhs. Here it's going to be the cost 16 lakhs. So that option you have to select. Okay. Right. 1 second, dear students. Yeah. That's the option you have to select. See. What cost you will apportion. Now, joint cost to be apportioned as per the sale value at split off point. Now, sale value at split off point, we don't further process it into VNL. Just sell them at this price. And in this ratio, can you take the sales? Yes, very easy, right? Okay. Next. Yeah, please wait. I'll surely clear your doubts. Or you can leave the message, and I to feel you wait. You will definitely feel that you're revising the concept in the best gist way. Okay, right. So sale value at the split off point is 100 and 150, and in this ratio of sales you divide. Now, joint cost to be apportioned between sodium and halogen as per NRV method. NRV is further process halogen. Halogen को further process करो. So you are getting this quantity and this. And here it is 150 halogen. Add 250 more in the selling price. So this is the final sales value minus the further processing cost. This is the NRV. So can you segregate 40 lakhs in this NRV? Exactly same sum we have solved in the Sakhi compiler, right? But it's a question of 7 marks. This time it's an MCQ of 10 marks. These bits are the answers. Next, they have asked, considering that the decision for further processing is not approved, suggest this would be in favor of management. In short, they should further process or not. So for that, revenue of vinyl. Yeah. And if you don't produce further process vinyl, then you are selling halogen. So what is the incremental sales? If you further process 16 lakhs. For that, what is the incremental cost? 8 lakh. Still there is a profit. So should you further process or not? Answer is yes. So 10th one incremental says the decisions relating to further processing should be taken. 5 marks, 2 MCQs each mark. Sorry, 5 questions too. That is over. That easy this case scenarios. So go for it. I'm doing exactly with the mindset how you will solve the question. Case scenario 1 is not difficult. It's from operating costing, but you feel it will take a major chunk of your time. Don't start with that. First 30 to 45 minutes pumping as the best one what you know, right? Now, one separate MCQs are there, so definitely we can work out. I can't say every MTP, RTP, actual exam, Halsey and Rowan is so important. So here we go in a mind mapping revision. Halsey and Rowan, the basic wages are actual hours into rate, actual hours into rate. In Halsey, standard hours minus actual hours is time saved. So time saved 50%, give it to worker. In Roman, time saved in the proportion of actual hours by standard hours into rate. Give that as bonus. So either they will ask this way, or they will make that material wages, that equation, or they will get this worker is getting this much pay in Halsey. Same worker, if he goes in Rowan, what will happen? Like that. So very simple and very nice questions are there. MTP 1 is little tricky. I'm agreeing to that. But MTP 2 तो एकदम cool है बिल्कुल. आ जाओ, we'll check. Mr. Ben is paid higher wages than Mr. Econ. Though their normal wages are same, Ben gets wages under Halsey. Econ gets under Rowan. The total time allowed is 75 hours. However, Benz does it in 60 hours, he does it in 45 hours. He saved 15 hours, he saved 30 hours. The product also involves other costs that are not an all, and the total factory cost is given. And factory overhead rate is 120 per hour. Okay, so this is 120 per hour actually worked. That's the factory overhead rate. Number of hours we know. The total factory cost for Econ comes to this. दोनों का दिया है. And for Benz also it is this, right? So, from the following information, compute the normal wage rate. R is missing. Rate is not given. Standard hours, actual hours, and all is given to you. Factory cost is given to you. Material for both of them. Again, I'm saying, I feel, matlab, kya hai? Kya ye पूछ लिया? How can they ask this for 2 marks? You remember we have made an equation, material, take it as M, 45 R, and the total cost is given, right? So it's a very nice, easy, but little lengthy question, how fast you can do it in exam. This is your material. Let Y be the rate. So 45 hours and 45 by 75. You are getting time saved into actual hours by standard hours into the rate. Rate is taken as 1. And 45 actual hours into 120, that's the factory overhead. So material, labor and overhead put together is this. You can bring the equation and make it here. Same way, Halsey. Halsey may completed in 60 hours, 75 hours ka. So 15 hours ka 50% he has saved into Y, right? This is the basic wages. This is the bonus. This is the material. And then the overhead. And total cost is given. So you make it as equation 2. Now subtract 1 from 2. So this minus this. 1 को 2 में से minus करो. So x will get cancelled. 67.5 and 63, 4.5. These two also. So you will get y, that is r. 480 per hour. 480 per hour. Okay. Once you get r, you substitute and you will get the material cost. Same two questions we have solved in the Sarthi compiler. So that's what is your answer. 90,000. C bit. Which of the following is correct journal entry for under recovery of overhead? You should know how overhead ledger is prepared. Overhead ledger में 2 GLA, actual expenses incurred, overhead account debit to GLA से 10 रुपए. Now overhead is recovered in the work in progress. अगर factory overhead है, तो it's absorbed in work in progress and it's under absorbed. Just frame it like this, you will never go wrong in exam. Now 2 rupees is under absorbed. Can I put it in costing P&L? So the correct journal entry C, costing P&L debit to administrative overhead. Administrative, जो भी overhead में under absorption है, credited and debit to costing P&L. Okay, right. Now, due to sudden rise in demand of the product, the sales of Arrow Limited for the current year enhanced to 3 times that of the last year. This is break-even point ka question, marginal costing. The break-even point and the variable cost of the company are given to you. Huh? Break-even point ही दे दिया है आपको direct. Okay. 1 second. Very nice questions are there in MGP2. I really liked it. So I'm taking that first. Yeah, variance is only material and labor is very, very important. Sales for the current year enhanced to 3 times of the average of the last 4 years. Achha, year 1 is the latest. So you have to take the average. Year 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 times the average of the last 4 years. Yeah. And the break-even point, and you will get the average sales for the current year. And now variable cost is given. So sales, if you come to know, variable cost is given, you will get the contribution. Or from contribution, you can get the PV ratio, contribution by sales into 100. And now break-even point is already given to you. It's fixed cost by PV ratio. PV ratio आपने किया. So like that you will get the answer. Check. You have to take the sales of the last 4 years, divide by 4. And 3 times. That's what is the sales now. Variable cost is given. So you get the PV ratio, contribution by sales. And break-even point is fixed cost by PV ratio. You know the break-even point, you know the PV ratio. Can you get the fixed cost? Yes. So easy question this is, right? 14th now. Due to technical and economy manufactured in batch, the latest contract requires to company to supply 9,000 bushings per month. So annual divide will be 9,000 into 12. 9,000 into 12, 1,08,000. Company has estimated the setup cost and the inventory ordering cost is given per annum. If they give per month, that also you have to multiply. How many runs? So this is batch costing, right? Economic batch quantities under root 2 ds by C. So D is the annual demand. Under root 2, D is the annual demand. S is the setup cost, 16,002.25. And C is the carrying cost. देखो कितना आ रहा है आपका इकोनॉमिक बैच. 7590 is the batch size. 7590 is batch size, each batch. And you have to produce 1,08,000 in a year. So, उसको memory में डाल दो. 7590, put it in memory. Divide by 1 lakh and also you are getting 14.22 times. You have to run, the nearby answer is 15 runs. 15 runs. So did you observe that these one-liner MCQs are very, very easy? I would not suggest you to do everything in calculator. Please put it not in question paper, ma'am, then why you are writing. I am writing so that I can show you the data and link up the things, beta. You're not allowed to write anything on the question paper. और एक बाकी है 15th. Yeah. The budgeted fixed overhead for the month of August is 75 lakhs with production 15,000. However, the actual units produced is 15,600 with no fixed overhead cost variance. Calculate the actual fixed overhead. Okay. Fixed overhead variance is equal to budgeted overhead minus the actual overhead. So budgeted overhead is budgeted or actual overhead absorbed. Variance is 0. Okay. What is budgeted overhead? Don't take budgeted overhead as 75 lakhs. Budgeted overhead is for 15,000 units. What's for actual unit? So 75 lakhs divided by 15,000. 75 lakhs divided by 15,000 into 15,600. So what is the budgeted overhead for actual production? $78 lakhs, and actual overhead is also 78 lakhs. That's why this is 0. Followed all of you? However, the actual units are 15 with no overhead variance. And budgeted overhead, please don't take as 75 lakhs. That's the overhead for 15,000 units. What will be the budgeted overhead or overhead absorbed for actual production? 78 lakhs. So actual overhead will be 78 lakh. तभी तो ये zero आएगा. So the answer will be this. Easy, interesting. Chalo. Let us go to the descriptive questions very quickly. This class takes a lot of energy. तो पूछो, कुछ डाउट है अभी तक किसी को? Now I'm taking descriptive questions. Of course, you have to do any 4 out of 5, but we'll take all. Shanu Limited has predetermined overhead rate. This rate has been calculated for the budgeted and is considered. Following overhead expenditure and various activity levels are given to you. Okay. So this question is related to overhead absorption and all. Following overhead expenditures are given. Calculate the variable overhead rate per machine hour. See, whenever the machine hours are changing and overhead is changing, that is only because of the variable element. So change in the overhead divided by change in machine hours you do, you will get the variable overhead. From total overhead, if you minus, you will get the fixed overhead. Correct? Calculate the budgeted level of the activity in the machine hours. Okay. Calculate the amount of under over recovery if actual machine hours are given and actual overhead is given. So actual hours into the standard rate, if you do, that will be the absorption, and actual overhead is given. Compare and the difference will be under root. State the argument for and against using the department absorption rate as opposed to single or blanket rate. Nice question of the overhead. Okay? Chalo, let us take up. Change in the cost and change in hours. This will give you the variable overhead rate per hour. It could be per hour, per unit. Here it is hours. Now, total overhead is given. Variable overhead is 8.75 per hour and these many hours. So fixed overhead we got. Okay. What is the third question they are asking? Third bit क्या पूछा है? Calculate budgeted level of activity in the machine hours. Okay. In the machine hours, budgeted level of the activity so that you get the predetermined rate of 22 per hour. So you can fit in all in the calculation. Yeah. 8.75 is variable overhead. Budgeted hours, pata nahi hai, we have taken X. Fixed overhead. And this total overhead divided by again hours, X. This should be 22. So if you do 16,000 hours, you will get your budgeted rate, that is 22 per hour, which is given in the question. Predetermined rate. That was the third bit. Now, 14,970 is the overhead absorbed at 22 and actual overhead is 322. Overhead absorbed is 329. So this is over absorption. Best part of the costing paper is it's not linked, like capital gain, sale consideration goes wrong, capital gain goes wrong, your exemption goes wrong. Here it is bit by bit. Aram se karo, leave proper gap in exam, give proper numbering. Surely you will do it right. Followed or not? See, these are bit questions. You know ki how 22 overhead rate will come. And actually, this is not even a question of overhead. This is like semi-variable overhead. How do you get the variable overhead? Whenever overhead is changing and hours are changing, it's only because of the variable element. Okay? Right. So, very nice question this is. Last one was ki why you will not use the blanket overhead rate. It gives you a better departmental absorption rate provides costs which are more precise than just taking blanket overhead rate. So we go for that one line answer. Okay, next question. The standards have been set up for material, three kind of material, labor, actual material cost is given, and you simply have to work out price and usage. So material cost variance, rate and efficiency. So labor cost variance, rate is price, efficiency is usage. Same. I think this is very simple applying. You make a table and then applying with the formulas, you can get the total answer. Just apply and you will get the total answer. They are not calculating the material price variance and usage variance for X, Y, Z. Just take the total and do it. Price variance is standard price and actual price. Quantity to actually रहेगी, right? When there's a change in price, you have to take actual quantity pe price impact. If you take standard quantity, it will not justify. But when it is usage, standard quantity minus actual quantity into standard price we are taking, right? Same way labor. Rate की बात आ रही है तो standard rate, actual rate for actual hours. But when it is efficiency, hours, standard hours, actual hours, it's always standard rate. This part I am leaving now, you can do. Shiv is working by employing 10 skilled worker. It is considering to introduce either Halsey or Rowan. Exactly same problem is asked long back in the actual exam. It's added in our compiler. Word to word same question. पर बहुत अच्छा है. Either Halsey you have to introduce or Rowan to cope up with the increased demand. She felt that if the proposed incentive could bring about 20% present earning may increase, it would be sufficient incentive to worker to work. So whatever incentive scheme you want to bring, Halsey or Rowan, the existing wages should increase by 20%. So now as a result of this assurance, the increase in the productivity has been observed as revealed. Okay. Simply you calculate as per Halsey and Rowan and calculate the labor cost per unit to divide by number of units per hour to divide by hours and select which one. Itna easy problem hai ye. Hourly rate is given. Average time for producing one piece by one worker is 2 hours. Yeah. So number of working days in a month, 25, 8 hours. So 200 hours mein. 1 unit, 2 hours. 1250 unit को कितने घंटे देना था? 1250 into 2. 2500 are standard hours. Now they must have completed Halsey and Rowan. 2500 are those standard hours. But they completed the work. Acha, and 10 workers are there. So accordingly, we will take 2500 are the standard hours. Actual hours are. Did you get it? 2500 I already calculated. 25 days, 8 hours, 10 workers, 2000. So time saved is 500. Time saved is 500. Now Halsey. 2000 hours into 2. वो तो ठीक है. 500 into 2 का 50% दे दो. बात खत्म. Halsey. 4500. If you divide by 2000 hours, you are getting earning per hour. If you divide by number, I think frankly speaking, you can do it so easy in the column form, the way I teach in class. Whole answer, we not skip anything. Yeah. Right now, the labor cost is 4. So you will reduce the labor cost to 3.6 per piece if you go for this. Now let us go for Rowan. Rowan 2500 hours का काम 2000 में किया तो 500 hours saved into 2 per hour in the rate of actual hours by standard hours. So this will be the bonus. and divide and labor cost per hour भी दिया है, per hour से divide किए तो hours आएगा. You can do it in column form. I'm telling you, it will be so. Here, for company point of view, Halsey is good. 3.6 ही पड़ रहा है. They are saving more. In Rowan, they are saving less. Sorry, in Halsey, the company is saving less. In Rowan, the company, I'm paying more attention on the concept. Calculation is anyhow very easy. Yeah. In Rowan, the company is saving 0.4. In Halsey, the company is saving 0.16. So Rowan is better. But in Rowan, they are getting 2.25. They were already getting 2. At least 20% their wages should increase, no? They promised workers will give you such a bonus that your earning will increase by 20%. So this is not increasing. This is increasing. Shiv should introduce Halsey incentive as it gives more saving than Rowan. They have not given the reasoning clearly. I hope you are getting. Saving is more in Rowan. 1 minute. Huh? But Halsey is satisfying the promise made to worker. Right? Okay. That's all for Halsey Rowan. Kitna पूछते हैं देखो. So you know that Halsey Rowan you have to do it very thoroughly. Yeah. Check the next question now. Just 1 minute. XY Construction is a leading engineer and construction. Recently, they have been asked to quote residential building construction and industrial. However, they are winning fewer residential contracts. Okay? XY has a policy to price all the jobs at budgeted total cost plus 50%. Overheads are currently absorbed. कभी कभी ना समझ में भी नहीं आता है कि the question is of which chapter till you read. So if you can, it's good. If you cannot segregate कि किसका question है, no problem. Overheads are currently absorbed on a labor hour basis. The company believes we're switching to activity-based costing to absorb overhead, reduce the cost associated. You are provided with the following data. Okay. दोनों residential construction करो या industrial construction करो, your overhead is 600. Okay, this is activity based costing. First you segregate directly, and in activity based costing, activity drivers and all are given. Calculate the cost and quote of the RBC on an IPC labor hour to absorb. Then calculate the cost on RPC and IPC using activity based costing, and third some question is asked. Okay, so just read it 2 minutes. Thank you for waiting. You want a break? Then after doing one MTP, we will take calculations. I'm not doing, I'm revising the concepts. This is a concept revision practice of MTP. Chalo. So two type of construction. This is going with activity based costing and it's a 10-mark question. With that, one theory question is there. Calculation of variance is not an end. Superb. It's right. हाँ सिर्फ variance calculate करके you have to analyze the reasons and work why the actual variance has gone negative. So that's a theory question along with this, and these are 10 marks. So first you do it routine without using the cost drivers, right? So when you do it in routine, profit is 50% of the total cost. Material is 5 lakh. Labor is 1200 hours. Labor rate is 100. So if you go by routine, 5 lakh, 12 lakh given. Labor is 1200 hours into 100 hours. You want hours into rate. Likh do. Routine. Hours into rate. Yes. 1 second. Hours into rate. Okay. And for overhead, they clearly said that it is absorbed. So what is the total overhead? 600 lakh. And what are the total hours? आपको दिया होगा ना? Yeah, labor hours are given here, 50,000. And 600 lakhs. 600 lakhs divided by 50,000. Again, it's coming same. Overhead is 1200 per hour. These are hours and this is the overhead rate. Write down if you don't know how to get. Overhead is 600 lakhs and there are 500 hours. So this is routine. Whatever you get the total cost, add profit 50% of the cost and you will get the answer. Over and out. Question number 2A. Now we have cost drivers. It's like super duper easy question actually. In cost drivers, we know that site visits, 600 sites are there. 2 here, 2 visits are here, 10 visits are here. Planning documents, 300. So project planning, 80 lakhs divided by 300 planning documents. So per planning document, you will get the cost. Multiplied by 2 here and 8 here. Like that, you have to get the cost drivers. Dekho. Site engineering cost 120 and 600 sites are there. 80 lakhs and 300 planning documents. Depreciation is 400 and labor hours. So this is the cost drivers you got. Only cost drivers are also asked in MCQs, dear students. That's the total overhead divided by the denominator. Instead of taking one blanket overhead rate, they are saying site engineering का cost है तो कितने sites है 600. Per site is 200. Now here we have 2 sites, here we have 10 sites. Material is same, labor is same, overhead. What's the planning cost per document? 26,667. Here 2 planners, here 8 planners. Same way depreciation, you get total cost 50%. Now, did you observe directly if you have taken here it is 30.9 and 66.75. Here it is, the cost is reduced. So when you use the cost driver, when do you actually use, when you have different type of the overhead, you can't use blanket rate. Am I going fast or is this all clear to all of you? Concepts I'm revising. So that's all about activity based. Following are the details of the process A and B. overly simple question. We have done the question of the profit. A ka cost is this. A is transferred to be at a price of 20% on the transfer. So this is 80, 20 and 100. Problem with the profit was when there was closing stock. Here there is no closing stock. So this is like overly easy question. Ye dekho. Material labor overhead profit is 20%. So this is 80, this is 20 because it's 20% on the sales. 96 into 20 divided by 80. Bring it to process B. Again add. Again do. And then what is the first process profit? 24. Second 22. And finally finished goods are sold at 4 lakh. It's given. Over easy question because stock is missing. Okay. Right. From the following, calculate the administrative cost, selling cost distribution. Instead of cost sheet, nowadays too much trend is there that just segregate the cost. So how will you segregate the cost in all the different items? That we will check in this. Segregate it in the variable overhead. कोई भी cost sheet में आप कर सकते हो. Even in the main cost sheet, so many times nowadays, just factory overhead detail they will ask you, but they have asked you to segregate in admin, selling, and distribution. Okay, so let us take up now admin. Rent for the factory will go to factory overhead. You just have to do admin, selling, and distribution. Office staff will come in admin. Fees for the auditors admin. Sales and all selling. Vehicle hire charges for directors, that's admin. Yeah, right. Wages paid to worker in storing the goods in sales depot. That's sales se related. Sales depot. Sales is selling overhead, right? Traveling allowances again, sales. Cost for secondary packing, it's for distribution. Electricity bills, sales. Depreciation on delivery van, distribution. Bonus paid to sales staff, sales. Fees paid to independent directors, admin. So just you have to segregate all. Ye dekho. What will come in administrative overhead after 4 lines and go on writing in each one. Easy, right? STI is into education loan. This is an operating costing question and exactly same question picked up from the study material. Study material se liya hua hi question hai, right? Chalo, let us check out. STI is majority providing education loan in its loan department for the month of August. Salary paid to education loan processor is 21,60,000. Okay. तो पहले तो सैलरी का कॉस्ट ही लिख लेते हैं. Other overhead cost 30% is applicable to this loan department. Total overhead is 1640, which includes legal advice relating to this. So out of common overhead, 11,000 is exclusively for this. So remove. Other than general overhead, 30% is charged here. And number of loan applications. So for each loan, how much admin cost you will charge. It's a very small, simple question for 2 marks. For 2 marks. Same can be asked in MCQ. See, it's not that MTP exactly will come, but the concept will definitely come. In DT also, please pay attention to the capital gain concept. They are very, very important. Chalo. Following information is available from the purchase book of a company. Yes. Cost of placing purchase order, purchase per unit, annual storage cost. Oh, this time instead of EOQ to aega, reorder level and reorder quantity is EOQ, but maximum, minimum, average, emergency. Average and maximum is given. So minimum will be 1000. ये देखो यहाँ average is maximum plus minimum divide by 2. Average is 1500, maximum is 2000, minimum I don't know. So minimum will be 1000. Orally also we can do. I did it. ठीक है. Minimum will be 1000. Now you can simply calculate all the levels. Such an easy question. Of course, material, labor, overhead, very easy questions are going to be asked for sure. Reorder level is maximum usage into maximum lead time. Maximum level is reorder level plus reorder quantity, that is EOQ minus minimum. Minimum is reorder minus average. And danger level, all work is data is given to you. And for reorder quantity, under root 2 AB by C, we do ordering cost and right. Next one is a free fund marks. Itna simple hai. Idle time is the time during which no production is carried out, but you have to pay them. It can be normal and abnormal. Like I pay to my workers for say 8 hours, but actually they work for 7.5 hours. Half an hour is lunch. So their efficiency, when I calculate, it's for 7.5 hours, but I have to pay. So this is normal. But if I have paid them for 8 hours and they worked only for 5 hours because of power cut, because of proper supervision is not there, because material is not available, it's abnormal idle time. Why they are sitting idle? We have to plan it. So it's a theory question. Normal idle time, time taken for factory gate, job, fatigue, lunch breaks and all. Lack of coordination, power failure, non-availability of raw material, strike, lockout and all. ठीक है? Right. Oh, one of my favorite. I feel every exam this comes and you should score like anything for the reconciliation question. So 4-mark reconciliation, or they can ask you little longer one also. है ना? So be confident where you are. You are starting with the costing profit. Add and less ka hi question hai. So why I'm making T format. Start with the costing profit so that every time what is the impact. Factory overhead is undercharged in the costing books. So और charge करोगे तो profit क्या हो जाएगा? 235, 500 कम हो जाएगा. Administrative is undercharged. So now charge, reduce the profit. Selling is undercharged. Now charge, reduce the profit. Income from interest and dividend. Add 235, 500. They have added, you have not. Now what you get is the profit. That's simple. Add and these three less, you will get the answer. Easy. Okay. A Korean beverages company plans to set up a subsidiary and their annual sales is 40,000 bottles. Annual cost is also given to you. Percentage of the cost which is variable. Okay. Remaining material तो पूरा ही variable होता है. Labor overhead में कुछ fixed है, कुछ variable है. Fruit juice produced will be sold throughout, who will earn a commission of 10% on sales. Expenses will not be allocated. Compute the sales price. If the profit array, this is like a cost sheet. 10% of the sales is profit. 10% of the sales is commission. Matlab this cost is 80%. So compute the selling price. Can you do? And then break even point if they sell it at 19. So first to simple. Very simple. Calculate the variable cost. Just this much. Huh? Don't वो कमीशन लिखा है वेरिएबल, बट अभी मत लो. Calculate the fixed cost. That तो you can know. Actually, they have done it like this. You can do it like this: total cost, fixed cost, and vary. You can segregate. So I want all of you to do. So इतना concept. If the concepts are clear, calculation के लिए pen will flow. Use the same calculator which you used in class for final exam by knowing all the. So this is 5,05,000. Put it in memory. What is fixed cost? 35,000 plus 67,500 plus 32. Sorry. 35,000 plus 67,500 plus 32. 1,35,000. 6,40,000 is the cost, which is 80%. Everyone got why 80%? Because 10% of the sales is profit and 10% is commission. So 640 into 100 divided by 80. 8 lakhs is your sales. 10% is commission, 10% is profit. Easy. Presentation might differ, and 40,000 bottles is given in the question paper. Yeah. So 8 lakhs is 40,000, 20 is the selling price. Now in the same one they asked you, if you sell it in 19, what will be the break-even point? Selling price. Variable cost we know is 585 for 40,000 bottles. ये किया ना? 585 now, तो commission also you will add. So variable cost we know, sales we know, contribution we know, and fixed cost by contribution per unit you get in number of units multiplied. You can also do PV ratio. PV ratio leke bhi I think you know now this answer. They have given all this. ये step ना करके वैसे भी किए तो you will get the answer. Variable cost and all. Okay. Now we will take up 8 marks question. Superb, no? So easy. Ma'am, is it budgeting or is it marginal or what? Chodo. You know, read the question paper and let the pen flow. Yeah. This also same question we have done in study material for budgeting. We are manufacturing 2 types of the material and 1 grade of the labor. Shown below is an extract from the company's working papers for the next month. Okay. Sales is given to you. Consumption per kg is given. Standard labor hours per unit is given. X and Y का rate दिया है. And labor are paid 25 per hour. Overtime is paid 50% more than 25. So 37.5. If the worker work for more than 40 hours and there are 180 workers in a month. 180 workers, 40 hours and 4 weeks. Productivity ratio is given 80%. What do you mean by productivity ratio? So to get 80% output, they will have to work 100%. So material, if you put 100, 20 will be wasted and production will be 80. Non-productive downtime is 20% of the hours worked. Okay. These are both for labor cost. Labor cost. And there are 5 days week. Okay. 5 days a week. And other details are given to you. Opening stock, closing stock. Closing stock is given like 4 days ka sales and all. So very easy question. You have to make material purchase budget. But for purchase, first we know how much we should produce. So sales may, if I add closing stock minus opening stock, I will get number of units produced. और क्या पूछा है आपको? नंबर ऑफ यूनिट्स प्रोड्यूस्ड ही पूछा है ना? नहीं, नंबर ऑफ यूनिट्स प्रोडक्शन के लिए इतना मटेरियल रिक्वायर्ड होगा. So this is raw material required. Add closing stock of raw material. This was the finished goods. Finished goods sale, add closing minus the finished goods produced. To produce this much raw material is consumed. Add closing minus opening, you'll get raw material purchase. Is the flow clear or not? First, this is for finished goods. First, for always budgeting, we should know what's the production. They to give sales. So what's the production? Once you get production, each unit requires this many kg. So this many units required. So that's raw material consumed. In that, if you add closing stock minus opening, you'll get raw material purchase. Yes. Opening stock details are given and closing stock में जैसे दिया है 4 days का sales, so that we can calculate 4 days sales and all how it will come at it. More than 1 hour is over and I'm just discussing. I'm discussing the concepts very thoroughly. I'm not solving it. More than 1 hour हो गया 10-15 minutes. Case scenario 1 is pending. Today already 3 hours class in the morning and now this. You know, sometimes we get good break. Okay, I've written the booster notes, you copy. Sometimes it's any doubts you have, you can always post it, share it with your friends, comment, share, subscribe. Lot of live classes are going to be there for DT, IDT and costing here. Let me do it this one. See, first of all, start with finished goods sales. And how do you get 20 days? It's a 5 days week and 4 weeks. So 20 days. 2,400 per day ka sale. And 4 days sale is in stock. It's given to you. 4 days and 5 days sale is in stock. Opening was given. So this is your production. 2,480 and 4,300. This is your production. Now this requires 5 kg, this requires 3 kg. ये दिया है question में. Product A also requires material X, product B also requires. So total material required is this. Closing stock is given 10 days. So this is for 20 days, 10 days. Opening is given. So your quantity purchased is ready. Followed. Now come to wages. How many units are produced for product A and B? 2,480. And for product B, 4,300. Ma'am, then why did you write it? Because two kind of material are there. Labor एक ही है. Skilled, unskilled, you remember? Two kind of labor. So there also you will make 2 columns. यहाँ तो एक ही kind of labor. Standard hours allowed. एक यूनिट को बनाने 3 घंटे लगते हैं इसको this. And they are working at 80% efficiency. So if you want them to work effectively 744 hours, 7,440 hours, 80%, you have to make them work for 9,300 hours. 20% though, they are not working 80%. 9,300 hours. And of that, non-productivity downtime is also there. This is given in the question. Non-productive downtime. Anytime you feel I am doing little fast, or most of you are watching it as recording. So pause it. Live hai, so thank you so much. Pause karo or question read karo and then continue. So how many hours I am going to pay this? Yeah. Normal hours are 4 weeks. 40 hours per week and 180 workers. 28,800 hours. 28,800 hours are normal hours. But I am going to make them work 43,410 hours. Remaining, I'll pay at premium rate. 28,800 I'll pay at 25. 14,160 I'll pay at premium rate. Is this clear to all of you? Okay. These are simple theory questions. I have already made a separate video covering all these theory questions. What should be the hierarchy of cost accounting system and what you should check. And how to allocate the support department cost, service department. So step down method and this method and direct method, ये सब किया है हमने. ठीक है? Right. Only one MCQ scenario is left. Right. Is this helpful or not? Please comment. I'm taking lot of efforts to give you the concept. ये देखो बेटा, production budget के लिए we have to know what's the number of units sold at closing minus opening. This is production. One unit requires 3 hours. These many units are required. But these are the actual workers working. So like that, once you get the things correct, it will flow. Budget, all the questions are same. Or they didn't ask in MTP 1 and 2 flexible budget. But that also they are asking. One was flexible budget and one was unit and job costing. Least questions were asked, but they are asked. है ना? And budgeting is actually too good. Don't leave it, I'm telling you, in choice. Budgeting, marginal, EOQ, labor, Rowan and Halsey, material under over absorption, reconciliation. These are faster to do. Ma'am, process अच्छा है, but if they ask equivalent, you'll need so much of time to do. है ना? Right. Chalo. Let us take up now MTP 1. MTP 1 I am doing. Directly with single MCQs we are starting. The rate of change in the composition over the period, average number of employee is 9%. Okay. The rate of change in composition, 9% separation method. However, the same rate is 15 and 30 in the replacement and flux method. Average number are given. So 9% is separation divided by 200. So can we get the number of employees separated? Same way replaced is 15%. Number of replaced and average is 200. So can we get replaced 200 into 15 divided by 100? It's 30. 30. In the same way, we also have the flux method, right? So with this, you'll have to, you can't do it orally, you'll have to do it in the notebook, but you'll get the answer. Simple. Replaced is 30. We got. And number of employees left and discharged, separated is 18. And number of employees, flux method is separation, which we know 18 plus accession, and that was given 30%. So number of employees, accession is those who joined, recruited and joined, 42. So that was the answer, 32, 18 and 42. We have solved these questions as 4 marks question, but abhi MCQ mein pooch liya. Next. Which of the following? I want you to start with this because the bigger MCQs are also 2 mark. This is also 2 mark. 2 mark will give you a pump of confidence in the first 1.5 hour that you know this. Which of the following item is not the cause of difference between costing and financial? Income tax, there treated, here not treated, wo to aayega. Dividend to aayega. Loss on sale of investment not treated in the financials. So costing mein to as it is, it doesn't come. And in financials also, if it is not taken, it will not come in reconciliation. Cost account showing notional depreciation on assets fully depreciated for which book value. Ye to aayega because there you take actual. So for the 12th one, answer is C bit, loss. Meftol is currently operating at 60% capacity. Total capacity is 2 lakh. 2 lakh मतलब standard है. Other information is given. Total cost of the production. No other changes are given. Selling price is given. You are required to calculate the break-even point. Now for break-even point, what do you need? Fixed cost. And the PV ratio and the selling price. No. But there's one more formula, that is change in the cost and change in the units. Change in the cost and change in the units. So that's what they have used. Variable cost per unit. You know what they have given the data is? Current year में इतना है, last year में इतना था. 44 and current year. You're working at 60% of 2 lakhs. So 1,20,000 units, and this is 1 point times 5 times of the last time. The last time it must be 80. Now, change in cost because of the change in units is because of variable element. So now you know what is the fixed cost. And for fixed cost, we know the variable cost per unit. Sales is already given to you in the question. And fixed cost is given, you will get the break-even point. Break-even point is fixed cost by contribution. Contribution is sales minus the variable cost. Okay. Easy. Next. I feel it was very easy but little absurd question. मतलब ऐसे 2 marks के लिए कैसे पूछ सकते हैं? Exactly same question again in insurance, and they have asked you are required to calculate what is marketing and sales cost, what is operating cost, what is IT cost, and what is support cost. So IT cost तो दिया ही हुआ है, ये रहा IT cost. Post and all is support, logistic, office admin support, sales. Policy serving cost. Serving will come in the operation. Issuance cost will come in operation. Development means sales. Cost of marketing. So like that, just you had to segregate the cost. Marketing cost is development cost, cost of marketing and sales support. Operation is issuing, serving and follow-ups for claim. IT cost is given. And support is all other admin related cost. But that was asked for 2 marks. Okay, just take MTP as good as practice. Same thing they can give you what they gave now for 2 marks as 6 mark questions. Same from MTP. So don't worry कि मैम ये पेपर बहुत लेंदी है, ये है वो है. Analysis मत करो बेटा. चलो. RN Limited manufactures 2 primary products P1 and P2 through a joint process, and a byproduct is simultaneously produced. The relationship between output quantity to the direct material input stays stable. To allocate the joint cost, the company utilizes physical volume method, quantity wala method. During the month of March, company incurred joint cost 1 crore 30 lakh. NRV of the byproduct is treated as deduction from joint cost. नहीं भी बोला है तो भी you have to take that. ये रहा R. So this multiplied by this, you have to reduce it from the joint cost. And now find out the joint cost to be allocated on physical volume. Easy. In quantity ratio, take it. Joint cost में से बाय प्रोडक्ट का सेल वैल्यू माइनस करो and take it in the quantity ratio. Yeah. That was asked for 2 marks, but it was quite easy. Now going to the descriptive questions. I don't know, I felt in MTP One thing left was, as I said, flexible budget, and one thing asked too much was joint product by product. तो ये भी वही प्रॉब्लम है, सेम. This question is there in study material where for allocation of the joint cost, you have to take all the number of units which are produced as sold. Sales will be different and there will be closing stock. So that's what is the production. But you just sell the whole production to get. I think it's there in the study material. You want me to discuss? I'll do that. Okay, quickly, it's more than 1.5 hours we are together. I will solve this also and others. Quickly take a break of 3 minutes. 1.5 घंटे से हम स्क्रीन के सामने हैं. हवा खा के आओ, पानी पी के आओ, जल्दी से आ जाओ. Okay, so as discussed, are you all back after a break? See, these questions are asked. Joint product, byproduct is asked much. And one thing not asked is regular cost sheet. एक पूछा है cost sheet, but इतना बड़ा पूछा है. So please don't get looking कि ma'am this paper is so lengthy. Obviously for MTP, M2 marks, MCQ also, if they have asked so much of working, it's just for your practice. Okay, right? This problem of joint product and byproduct is already there in your study material. Okay, so now joint product byproduct method of apportionment we did in the case scenario also in MTP2. What is special in this problem? It's easy. They have made extra working notes to calculate percentage. You can do it logically correct. I'm just making your concepts clear with this MTP. Calculations I'm sure you'll be able to do. And for any doubts, I've given you my number in the beginning. Click the picture and send it as in the WhatsApp. It will surely be cleared. Okay, right. Dekho, what they have said is that units produced are say 1000 but sold are 800. So first you sell all the 1000 to get the difference, the joint cost. Okay, and that's how it is sold. Just check it, it will be clear. I think I was trying to say orally. Usse better you will understand when you check the question. Petro is a product refinery which uses cracking processes, diesel and this HFO. Okay. All the three final products are extracted simultaneously. They are immediately available for sale, no further. In contrast, this HFO is going to be further processed. Okay. Because it doesn't have the market only at the split off point. Okay. Quantity sold and selling price. Selling price is given to you. Total manufacturing cost amounted to 15 lakhs with an additional cost of 744 for finishing. Oh, this is the further processing cost. What's the joint cost? 15 lakhs. There were no opening stock, though at end of the period, falling inventory of the completely units were available. Now see, they have sold 1674 units, but 1620 units are in stock, no? So this joint cost is obviously closing stock 1670. Sorry, huh? Sold is 1670. Closing stock is 1620. So this production cost is definitely for 3294 units. Logically, do you agree? Same with the other two. Yeah, right? You are required to compute the following cost, joint cost allocated and the cost of the goods sold. So first joint cost you have to allocate by NRV method. In NRV method, HFO will take final selling price and we will also deduct the additional cost. Now see, calculation is very easy. Final sales value. Final sales value, actually just now I told you dear students, 1674 or 34 units are sold. Then why I'm taking the whole 3294 units as sold? Further processing cost I'm deducting to get the NRV and now allocate the joint cost in the ratio of NRV as if everything is sold. I'm again repeating, this is not your actual sales. This is whatever you have produced is sold. Why? Because 15 lakhs is the cost of not what is produced and sold. It's also the cost of what is in stock. So whatever you have produced is sold, NRV, further processing cost, and you get. This is just to apportion the joint cost. Now we got the joint cost. We also have the further processing cost. We have the total cost. Yeah, available for sale. This is the cost again of 3294 units. Out of that closing stock का cost reduce कर दो. So you will get the cost of goods sold. Joint cost, additional cost, total cost of the goods available for sale minus the closing stock. Now, how did you get 49.8? They have done percentage. You can take it direct. They have done like this. Closing stock 1620 divided by number of units produced 3294 into 100. You can take directly. It's so easy. I'm just doing for first one. It's the same for all three. Whenever you get joint product problem with closing stock, you have to first sell everything to get the correct joint cost. Once you get joint cost, simply proportionately, this is the joint cost for 3294. Out of that closing stock ka minus kar do, you will get the answer. That's all for this. Okay, right. Next question now. Super duper easy. Following information have been extracted from the cost record. Now basics in 2 minutes we can know that from stores the material will go to the work in progress. Work in progress is production house. Direct material will go to work in progress. Indirect wages will go to factory overhead. Repairs and all factory overhead. Finally factory overhead is also absorbed in work in progress. Out of work in progress, what is ready will go to finished goods. There you will add the administrative cost. Out of finished and admin, whatever is sold will go to the cost of the sales. In that selling overhead. So this sequence, please check 2 hours of my formula and concept class. I have revised this sequence and I have also given the booster notes. So that the pen should flow in costing because you have the clarity. The moment you see semi-variable overhead, you know change in cost by change in units is only variable. And total overhead, we know, we'll get the fixed. Moment they say 20% profit on selling price, you know 80, 20, 100. 20% profit on cost, 120. This is what is. Don't worry about the length of the MTP. I do agree it's not up to the mark, but questions are too good for practice. Especially highly recommended. Anyone asking you, pehle 1 karu ya 2 karu? 2 karu. MTP 2. It's having very good quality, good questions. Chalo. So, stores ledger details are given to you. Purchase, transfer, issue, work in progress. Huh? Overhead charged. Overhead is absorbed in finished goods. And what is overhead incurred? Is 8 rupees. Absorbed is 6 rupees. Tab fir ye under over absorption will come. Is my speed fine? I'm reading the question. Draw the stores ledger, work in progress, overhead control, costing P&L. Ma'am, you to taught direct wages also. They didn't give. So if the wages are there, direct wages, take it to the work in progress. And total wages are 21. So 3,000 indirect wages, you will take it to the factory overhead. Okay? Right. I will just solve it one by one. You have the sheet from where I'm reading the question. Then you can also pick up the figures one by one. I'm reading out as if I'm reading out the problem again. If not, just pay attention, you will get it. First is given to you stores opening balance. We will write it. Purchases. We will write it on the debit side. Transfer from work in progress. So work in progress, some material has gone back to production. Issue to work in progress. Material which is issued to work in progress. Issued for repairs, stores credit, and repairs are always debited in factory overhead. Deficiency found in stock, 1800. That you can transfer to overhead account or you can transfer to costing P&L account. See, alternatively, it can be treated as abnormal and transferred to costing. So you got this at closing balance. Now, work in progress opening is given to you. Direct wages are absorbed in work in progress, 18,000. Overhead are charged, closing balance. So this is work in progress which goes to finished goods, costing P&L. Now, entire production is sold at 10% profit on cost. Entire production is sold at 10% on the cost. So this is sold, and whenever you sell the goods, the sales will be credited here, GLA will be debited. Yeah. It's a non-integrated accounts. Wages paid is 21. So 18 we have taken here, 3,000 will take in overhead. Overhead incurred is 75. But overhead charged is 72. Overhead is absorbed in work in progress. And that material which has gone for repairs, that also you debit to factory overhead. Now you see in overhead, still debit side, overhead charged is more and overhead absorbed is less. So difference 13,800 is over under absorption. You can put it to costing P&L or you can absorb it in the, you can put it in costing P&L or you can absorb it in your same balance carried down in the overhead under over absorption. ठीक है? Excuse me. Good. Right. Management of company wants a formula and incentive worker. Same Rowan and Halsey. Halsey, the worker gets bonus equal to 50%. Calculate Halsey and Rowan. Like exactly same problem is there in the Sarthi compiler and we have done it. Worker A, 1 unit requires 15 minutes. So 176 units will require how many hours? So that is it, and actual hours are 40 hours. 176 ये बताया ना आपको. 1 unit requires 15 minutes. So 1 hour में 4 units. 1 hour 4 units because 15 minutes each. So 176 units divided by 4, 44 hours. So you get the time saved. Now minimum wages is 40 hours into 40. Standard hours is 44. So he saved time, 50%. Standard hours is 35. He took more, so nothing, bonus. So this was with Halsey. Same way you calculate Rowan. Okay. Excuse me. Calculate the earnings of the worker under Halsey and Rowan. No need to compare and give your conclusion and all. Don't do unnecessary things. 3 hours are very, very precious. Right? Okay. Next is again a study material question, little lengthier one for overhead. Here, very important thing I want to talk about is कितने marks के लिए है? Oh, it's like 2 marks अगर हम ये छोड़ दें तो 10 mark के लिए this 12 mark. 12 mark, huh? Nice. Overhead you have to absorb. Baba Limited belongs, X1 and all are main product and to service department. And rent and all you have to apportion. For service department, without fail, take the material and wages also. You see, while you are calculating the overhead for the main department, this wages you will not take. But you will take the service department because service department's direct material, direct labor, overhead, everything is to be absorbed by production overhead. This is the point where students are going wrong and I'm highlighting it and helping you to remember. Calculation में दिमाग खराब किए तो it will go on for 6-7 hours and we all know we don't have that much patience now. So this is the ideal way I do it every time and it is really helpful. Yeah. So the concept revision says that additional information and horsepower and light points and floor area. Directly I'm going to the answer. It's like you will say, ma'am, exactly same problem is there. Ye dekho. Here too I have taken direct wages. If material is also there, direct material, because if I just allocate overhead here, who's going to absorb the material and labor of service department? So for service department, take everything, but we are calculating for production department just the overhead. तो यहाँ नहीं लेना है, ठीक है? Rent and rates according to area, lighting according to light points, indirect wages, horsepower, depreciation of machine, and sundries. Nothing given sundries and all, you can take it in the ratio of direct wages. Okay. So you get, and then they asked you to do the repeated distribution. They have given the percentage. 20% here, 30% here, 40 and 10. Again इसको divide करो. Again इसको divide. Keep the repeated distribution till it goes less than 1. Now whatever total overhead you got divided by hours, rate per hour you are getting. Yeah. And per bicycle, material and labor is given. Rate per hour is given. Yeah, you have calculated rate per hour. And how many hours are required is given in the question. How many hours are required is given in the question. So you will get the thing. You have any doubt, ask me. Exactly same problem is there. A nice problem for 12 marks. So this is only for 2 marks now. Okay, it's a print 120 units to process single batch. Company needs material, wages, setup cost. Company absorbs production overhead at 20% of the wages, 15% of total production overhead for selling and distribution, and profit is 20. Oh, this is like job cost sheet. एक ही यूनिट का पूछा है, but with that you can prepare. This for 1 per batch, and this is 120 units are produced and एक batch में, and 2000 for it, so 20 batches, so multiplied by 20. Production overhead is 20% of wages, and of this 15% is the other overhead, and profit is 25% of sales. So once you complete this, you have to multiply. It's like damn easy. Okay? Chalo, next. Following information is available from the books of YSP Limited. Okay. Okay, this is a full-fledged cost sheet. Check the answer. Out of this one part, they can ask you ki what all cost will come in direct labor, not only wages, PF, ESIC. Freight inward of raw material, it's taken in the material consumed only. Direct expenses, hiring charges, power, fuel, molds, job worker, ये सब direct expenses. Factory overhead, lease rent, depreciation of the factory, machinery, repairs, insurance, all this will come in factory overhead. Then opening and closing work in progress. Then the quality control cost. Expenses paid for the quality control. Research cost, admin cost, some minor income if you get, it will be taken. Primary packing will always come as a part of cost of production. If you're producing oil, you have to pack it in the plastic bottles, no? Hair oil or whatever. So primary packing will always be a part of cost of production. Add opening and closing, you get cost of goods sold. Then administration, depreciation or director or general, wo sab pura. Then selling and distribution, salesman and delivery van and all, and we'll get same study material say pure ka pura problem is copied. Nice, but one bit they can ask you. And see how step by step marks are there. That's why I'm saying whatever you know best, let your pen flow. Okay. Following information is extracted from the purchase department of A Limited. Number of units produced, purchased. Oh, 1 minute. Normally I take classes in the morning. Number of units purchased. This is EOQ problem. Ordering cost, purchase cost, insurance charges are to be added to the purchase cost. Cash discount से कोई लेना देना नहीं है. Storage cost is like carrying cost and ordering cost, and lead time and other details is given for 6 marks. Super easy. Actually, both of the MTP they have asked this kind of question, whereas commonly asked is right now at EOQ, this is the carrying and ordering cost. If we go for discount, what will be the cost? Like that, comparatives are also asked. So, number of units purchased, ordering cost, cost of storage, cash discount will not come. Reorder level is maximum usage into maximum lead time. Maximum is reorder level, reorder quantity, what you got EOQ, into minimum. Minimum is reorder minus average. And danger is emergency purchases multiplied by average consumption. EOQ and all, you can get the answer. Next. This is a leading manufacturer in textile industry renowned for its commitment to quality with decades of experience and all. And they make different kind of the towels. Currently company okay, again activity based costing. Traditional method where overhead cost rate is 30 per machine hour and labor is 100 per hour. एक यूनिट बनाने के लिए कितने machine hours लगते हैं and 30 per hour. So like that. Now the company is planning to go for these cost drivers. Batch size, number of purchase orders, stores, delivery. So these are cost drivers. If you add total store delivery, 45 plus 80 plus 1, this will get number of delivery. And what will be the delivery cost? That total cost ka percentage they have given. It's an easy question but time consuming. Ye or cost sheet both are lengthy, so make a proper choice. That's why I'm saying, dear students, if you leave the theory, you will not have any choice but to go for lengthy questions. This is very simple. Material cost, labor, 4 labor hours are required and 100 per hour and overhead and all. Now, ये जो cost है ना, ये कैसे आएगा देखो. Just add all the totals, number of batches and all. And then percentage are given. You know the total cost. Yeah. Total cost is given up. Total production overhead is number of hours and machine hours. So 3 crore 60 lakhs. Ka 20%. 3 crore, this is it. And then number of batches and also per batch. And then multiply. Okay, right. Next is also a superb question for budgeting. Very simple, but nice question. You should attempt in exam. Following information relates to AI. Selling price of the toy is 3,000 and sales are made on credit on the last day of the month. Okay. Variable cost of production is given. Sales manager has forecasted number of the toys. Customers are expected to pay 50% 1 month after sales, 50% now. So they have asked you to make a budget of January to June. But you will have to start from November, because November sales will be 50% in December and 50% in Jan. Are you getting collection? So just look at this November sales. 50% December, 50. December sales, 50 year, 50 year. January sales, 50 Feb में, 50 March में. February का sales, 50 year. Like this, you will get the collection from datas. Next, company produces the toys 2 months before they are sold. So whatever you are going to sell in January, you will produce it in November. And creditors are paid 2 months after the production. So same. What is produced in November, you are going to make the payment in January. One minute. Company produces 2 months before they are sold and creditors are paid 2 months after the production. ठीक है. Payments. Directly they have taken. They have not made the working for the payment. But next month only it is paid. Variable overhead are paid and expected to increase by 25% and 75% are paid in the production and 25%. और जहां से increase हो रहा है, you'll have to take increase and some specific purchase and sale are there. Corporation tax is there in March. Okay. Like variable overhead, you pay it in the next month and wherever it is increasing, increase it. Paid 1 month later and then increase it also. So this is paid here like this. Same way wages. Wages are increasing also. First it was 800. Then 25% increase. So now it will be 1000. And then whatever you get, you pay it 75%. Like 10 lakhs hai. So 12 lakhs hai. So 75% abhi hai. 3 lakh here. 16 lakhs hai. So 12 and 4. Like that, you will get the payment. Now make the budget. Sales and then property sold, total collection, material, variable overhead, wages, machine purchase, tax paid, and cash flow. So you will get it. So much of calculation will not be asked. They'll ask maximum for 3 months. Okay. Then these many lengthy problems are only for practice. Equivalent process costing, it's an average based, very equivalent. There's no abnormal loss, abnormal gain, kuch bhi nahi hai. Only the production and the closing stock. That's why they have done it in a very simpler way. And just done. Okay. ABC. Process costing I'm not doing. It's very simple, very simple. Cost and management accounting is using different users. Who are the users? Internal and external. Service cost unit. Budgetary control. This one is a superb question. Can be expected same. बाकी तो तीनों clear है. देखो. ABC के benefits क्या है? Internal users, managers. External कौन है? Stakeholders, criteria. Two types of the cost unit. Composite cost unit, service में. Operating costing में use the composite cost unit, no? Ton kilometer, passenger kilometer. And absolute is like quantity, distance, ton, distance, tons. Commercial is take average of the quantity and add all the kilometers. ठीक है? So that's all for this theory question. This one is very nice actually. Cost of each job is assigned separately to which type of costing? It's job costing. Cost of completing each stage of the work. It's process costing. है ना? Each group of unit and thus separately here cost per unit is dividing total cost by number of units. Batch produce हो रहे. And then the next question, last one is a combination of two, multiple costing. So where these are used, this is all a list is given to you in chapter 1. Okay, right. Now we will take up the case scenarios. You have any doubts, please ask. Case scenarios is technical for the MTP 1 and MTP 2 first वाला. Second तो easy था हमने कर लिया. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि टफ छोड़ना है, बट इन द एग्जाम आल्सो इफ यू फील इट्स लाइक समथिंग वेरी टेक्निकल, लीव इट, डू इट लास्ट. नाउ वी आर डूइंग MTP2. We have done everything except the case scenario 1. It is for operating costing. I'm doing it now. Please suggest whether this way is it okay. I'm revising the concepts thoroughly. Yeah. Or you want separately to solve each and every MTP with answers on the left and right. A truck driver owns a car who can carry 5 tons and he doesn't have any other truck and all. And he does all with the condition that 75% of capacity ka load hai, to he will do. If the load is 0, still he will charge. So 5 into 75% is 3.75 tons ka cost he is going to charge minimum. Raju charges freight at 10 per ton. He received a work contract from one of agency where he has to take 4 tons from Delhi. Drop off at Chandigarh. After that, he will move to Ludhiana. So Delhi to Ludhiana is 0 ton, where he loads again 3 tons and comes to Delhi. Okay. Raju is accepted, but it is not physically possible for Raju to complete this project alone. He decides to hire a helper. तो हेल्पर का भी कॉस्ट लगेगा 15,000 per month. The contract will start from 15 June to 15 September. Generally, they give 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Here, days are given. But still, if you calculate, it's coming to 90 days only. 15th June, say 30th of June. So 16 days. July, August, September, and -2 holidays. देखो कितना आ रहा है. 16 plus 31 plus 31 plus 14 and -2. It's coming to 90 days. So 90 days he will take to complete all this. Yes. Now, other information is given. Truck was purchased in April 21. Now, this point is never covered in your study material, but we have done it in accounts and leasing and all. EMI में interest कितना है and principal. Taking a loan of 20 lakhs, 10% for 5 years. Every year ending, he pays EMI. So this part directly, I want to check the answer. Oh, sorry, here. It's good. अच्छा ही है. But interest calculation, if you don't get it corrected, ये देखो. 20 lakhs loan you have taken. 10% interest. And total of the installments is given. It's 527, 595. Every time, see. So that means this is interest, so this is principal. Now minus the principal and bring it here. 10% interest. That means interest out of the EMI. So this will be principal. So principal minus kar do. Like that, if you check, and we are in the 4th year. They gave in the question paper, we have taken a loan in 21 and we are in 2024. So we are in 4th year now. 4th year. 4th year, what is the interest? For 365 days, 90 days, how? Simple. Next, depreciation. Cost of the vehicle minus scrap value divided by number of years will give you the depreciation for 90 days. ठीक है, दो cost आ गए. Service and maintenance is 80,000 per month multiplied by 3. वो manager की salary भी आ जाएगी. I'm just taking all the cost. It's asked in other bits, but just taking. Service cost, salary cost, interest and depreciation. These many costs we know. Now let us read the next part. Truck and diesel. Okay. Until now, whatever problems we have done, the diesel cost is fixed. 8 kilometers per liter and per liter cost. But here per liter cost is changing. So your diesel cost is also changing. But your number of kilometers are fixed, no? Kilometers दिया होगा ना कहीं पे? दिया होगा. Yeah, here they are. Even if Chandigarh to Ludhiana ton is 0, but diesel तो लगेगा ना खाली गाड़ी भी. Delhi to Chandigarh 250 kilometers, 100, 350 and total 500 kilometers. 8 kilometers का rate is 80.3. 500 kilometers का कितना? So like that you have to calculate the diesel cost. Hmm. 80.3. See, 500 kilometers का कितना? Total number of the kilometers. In June, how many days it is running? 16 days. So 16 days, 80.3. This is the total cost for 500 kilometers and 8 kilometers के rate के हिसाब से. Got it? 8 kilometers का 80.30. तो 500 kilometers का कितना? 500 into this divided by this, and this is per day rate. Yeah. Multiplied by 16 days. This is the per day rate, no? 80.3. So 16 days, 31 days, 29 days and all according to number of days and holidays. So diesel cost also we got. Now, it's a challenge, dear students, to do this question. But acha hai. If you are really keen to do, I am ready to help you. What would be the amount of profit Raju would have earned if he had no minimum limit of 75%? वो 3.75 ton वाली limit नहीं है. And that too absolute ton. Absolute is ton kilometer. If the vehicle runs empty, then he would only charge diesel cost, so he will charge. है ना? Right. So the first one now. 250 into 4, 150 into 3. खत्म. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? Into 90 days. 250 kilometers into 4 tons. 150 kilometers. One more ton is kilometer is there, but ton is 0. So absolute ton kilometers per day. And then for 90 days is this. Chandigarh to Ludhiana, it is coming vacant 100 kilometers for 90 days. Everything you are doing the calculation for 90 days. Okay. Now, charges for vacant run. Already you have calculated the diesel cost for 500 kilometers. But in that 100 kilometers, so you are vacant, na? So you will charge that from the customer. 9864 is income. And 1,30,500 ton kilometer per ton kilometer is 10. बाकी same है. Service cost, salary, diesel, interest, depreciation is 7. So this is going to be your profit. This is new for all of you. Diesel cost he has charged full here. But he will recover कि जो खाली है उसका जो diesel cost है, I want it as my income. ठीक है, minimum he foregone. 3.75 he didn't charge. Okay. Right. Now the second one. If the payment was made on commercial ton kilometer, average of the kilometers, and Raju had no minimum limit, how much would he have lost due to no minimum limit? Now you are taking average ton, so somewhere it will be like 0 also, 0 ton. So average and he didn't take commercial में. So what will be the, how much he would lose due to no minimum requirement? उसके लिए अच्छा comparative बनाया है. Commercial ton kilometer. But he clearly said without minimum, na? He didn't have the minimum limit. With minimum limit, 3.75 is the average. Yes. Why did you get 3.75? We have drawn the diagram, no, somewhere. Here it is 3, here it is 4, here it is 0. So average 3.75 we will take. Into 500 into 90. Here we have taken without minimum limit. So जो भी actual है वो ले लिया है without minimum limit. Yes. And 10 per ton we know its revenue. Cost we have already calculated separately. Cost calculate किया था ना first वाले में. Yeah, here. All these are cost. Can we do the total, dear students? 240 plus 45 plus 454 323 plus 22 578 plus 36 986 798 887. So according to commercial ton kilometer, what's the revenue? This cost this. So this is the loss without limit. With limit, he'll take average 3.75 ton के पैसे कम है ज़्यादा है, he'll take average. But here directly they have taken 3.75. Actually, where it is 4, they should take 4. Where it is 0, they should have taken 3.75. Where it is 3, they should have taken 3.75. And then divide by 3. This should have been the answer. I hope you are getting. With minimum limit, where it is 0, apply minimum limit. Where it is 4, take 4 now. So 4 plus 3.75. This is just extra knowledge. Abhi to you do as if they have done. So this is coming to 3.83 then. So what is the revenue with limit? Minimum agar aap charge kar rahe ho. What's the revenue without limit? This. So the loss, if you don't say ki minimum 3.75, so I will charge even if I'm coming. You will incur a loss of 637,500. Next. Any doubts you have? Ask me. Abhi, the extra bit which I taught you is clear or not? I think they should have not taken direct 3.75. What should be the minimum amount charged on basis of absolute ton kilometer if Raju wants to earn a profit? Oh, cost we know and profit. So this is revenue and absolute ton kilometers तो ऊपर ही calculate करके रखे थे ना? Somewhere we have calculated, no, absolute ton kilometers. One minute. Absolute ton kilometers is here. With limit 254 tons, 100. See, here they have done it correctly. 250 kilometers, 4 ton, 100, 3.75. So you can't take average as 3.75 because where it is 4, you have to take it as 4. So this is the amount of revenue. Next, what? Choose the correct answer for depreciation and interest. That you just have to copy the figure. What is the profit as per the current rate charged by Raju? Absolute ton kilometer leke. What is the profit? absolute ton kilometer. And all expenses you need not write. So this will be the profit. It's very easy. Only thing new is if he's not charging 3.75, then he's taking the diesel cost as income. And in all the other options, he's taking 3.75. Okay. So here we close this. Ye joint product se to we started the class. Come now to the case scenarios of MTP1. Someone doing genuinely can write the time now at this time MTP1 MCQ case scenario 1 and all is charged. That will be helpful. Two and a half hours are over. It's like becoming a marathon. 5:45 I started 8:15 and actually it's dinner time. Okay. XYZ is the mid-sized enterprise that has established a strong reputation. MTP1 first case scenario. Company specializing in high solution and all. And to maintain control, okay, they are observing standard costing. Standard costing I'm not doing. Please, you apply the formula and you will get the answer. Standard costing. And they have asked you fixed overhead cost and volume, efficiency, expenditure, capacity भी नहीं पूछा है आपको. So apply the formula and do it. I'm not doing case scenario 1. Fixed and variable overhead both. Now, a garment manufacturing company is manufacturing t-shirt. Okay. And the current cost is material labor. 50% of this is fixed and 50% is variable. So variable cost will be 190. And fixed cost इसमें से 40 यहाँ आ जाएगा. Fixed cost will be 110. There's no limitation. Vikas is able to sell. Marginal costing question it is. 80,000. He is currently operating at 80%. After searching, Vikas received an order for 30,000 units. Oh, as per inquiry, 30,000 ya to pura do. This was earlier asked in final level decision making questions. 80% capacity is 80,000. So 20% more you can produce and sell 20,000. But if you're going for special order of 30,000, you'll have to forego 10,000 units profit what you are locally getting. है ना? Vikas decided to send a quote and the order was placed and all foreign and it spent 20% of the total production was quickly. It charged 80,000 for one truck whose capacity was 500 kg to transport. Truck was 20% vacant. Bill of lading and all was charged. Custom and port charges. ठीक है. Yeah. If you're deciding to go for 30,000 order, you'll have to forego the profit of 10,000. Vikas has sufficient funds. He still raises short-term loan. Foreign order was accepted and first due and loan was taken and repayment was 1st September. Calculate the net cash outflow. Which of the following is correct? Okay. So interest cost also you have to take. See. This was fixed cost. Packaging cost, they said you have to charge of the prime cost. Prime cost mein fixed and variable we have segregated. But 80 whole is the prime cost ka part. I hope you are getting 90, 60, 80. That's why they have taken the packaging cost and total variable cost. Then fixed cost, freight, custom. Custom charges are 500 kg, 80% they are operating. Okay. Shipping cost, 80% they are operating. Insurance, and this is the funds required. This funds you have earned income because you took the loan at 6.50. second. And you earned an interest. So on this amount, you got this benefit. Okay. So what is your fund required? 76. Out of that, if you have taken the loan at cheaper rate, you're getting a benefit of this. So net cash outflow will be this. Read it, please, if you can. Okay. Next, now all the bits are super easy ones. What would be the minimum price? Because would quote if $1 is 83.6. 83.86. Variable cost is given, fixed recovery cost is given, loss of the profit. Because you are going for 30,000 year, 200 per unit. What was the profit in local? That you have to forego. So this is the minimum price. And how these all bits are options. But how did you get 200? That will be given. Just with different rates they have given. Profit earned for 30,000 units, which you are exporting. And variable cost we know. And fixed cost also a part we have to allocate. Thus, this is a profit. Cash inflows. This is inflow. This is outflow. Don't take this. Fixed cost though, as it is, it's a sunk cost. So though profit on this, inflow is this. Now, incremental benefit. Oh, 10,000 units, if you sell locally, 200 is the profit. And this, if you accept, then what was the profit? If you don't want to do all this calculation again, it's a very easy problem. If you export, you are earning 39,94,250. If you sell locally, 20 lakhs. So 1994 is the additional. All bits are very easy provided you work out this aram se. Read one by one bit, you will get it. Which bit you are confused, you have to ask me. Okay? So that's all. Thank you so much if you have watched it here. Wish you very all the best. All my blessings and wishes are there. I know something was technical in MTP1, something was lengthy, but then something was very easy also. Some MCQs like there only you got the answer. Over, under, absorption and all. Okay? So learn what is important. Rowan, Halsey, EOQ formulas and overhead, over, under, absorption part. Then coming to batch costing, the formula under root 2 ds by c. Then operating costing, service transporter is the most important, I can say, repeatedly asked. Then formulas of the marginal costing, standard costing, if you want to do it, and leave it if you don't want to do it. Process costing. Process costing is easy, but thoda lengthy hai. Activity based costing, copy paste problem you will get in exam what you have done in the compiler. It's covering up all the varieties. Okay. So the best I have given with this, please watch. I will put it again in comment. The link of the marathon, the costing formulas, the theory and all. Do check it up one day before exam. Share it with your friends. And someone was asking, having a doubt in question number 1, which scenario you have deleted. Siddharth, if you are listening now, you can again ask your doubts. Okay, we are connected in WhatsApp also. All the best. Bye-bye, all of you. Thank you so much. Stay connected for more such videos. Bye. Of course, the pen will flow. Don't worry. Just put the data in the answer sheet. 10,000 units, 200 foregone, 30,000 on. Ma'am, why they are not comparing 10 and 10? Array, 30,000 order, I'll fully, they'll accept though 10,000 foregone. Or 10,000 to 30,000. That's the comparative. That's why. Any more doubts? You will do wonderful.